Welcome to America's award-winning car talk show, In Wheel Time, your weekly go-to all things automotive place, along with Mike Out of This World Mars and King Conrad DeLong. Don Armstrong here today. Our theme, if you will, our subject matter is about used, pre-owned, slightly massaged cars. And so we thought that what we'd do is kind of try to cover all the bases. And one of the guys that I really have been trying to get a hold of and wanted to connect with is Gary Emmons down at the Emmons AutoPlex at the Gulf Freeway on FM 528 down in Webster, which is also NASA Road 1. But he's on one side of the freeway and NASA Road 1 is on the other.
Yeah, they're just on the east side of 45.
My race car friend, Gary, how are you, my dear friend?
Hey guys, I'm doing really well. It's good to see you and talk to all of you.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. You know, we have mutual friends, and I don't know whether I should actually divulge that information. One of them is by the name of Dale Hultquist, and the other one is Stan Holt.
Both really, really good guys. I've had a long-term relationship with both of them, and just great people.
Well, I have to tell you that my career with them stretches back a ways, all the way back to high school because of Houston International Raceway right down the street from you that used to be down there in Dickinson. And so that's where my racing roots came from. So we've got all the, and plus I also worked for Top Fuel Team at one point. So I've got that in common with you. But what a great, awesome setup he's got with all of his cars and the haulers. I mean, here come the Emmons brothers. Oh my God, clear the way, because you can tell what a first-class operation. And I have to tell you, I had a chance to drive by Emmons AutoPlex here about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Oh my gosh, what a gorgeous facility.
I'll tell you what, you guys kind of stepped it up a little bit down there, didn't you?
Just a little bit. You know, this building a facility of this magnitude has been a dream of not just mine, but all of my brothers. There's 4 brothers total. And it's something, you know, we started out with my father's business, just a little mom and pop place, 30, 40, 50 cars. And now we've grown to, on our peak, we carry over 700 cars.
Jeez. Holy Toledo.
Well, and you have a fully operational service department back there as well. I was back in your service department about 2 weeks ago. So you're not just selling cars, you're there to service and maintain them for your customers as well.
That is exactly right. And in the very back behind the service department, we also have a body shop. So our goal was to build a one-stop facility. Whether you need to buy a car, sell a car, have it serviced, or have it repaired due to an accident or collision, we can do it all.
So you're not not a new car dealer. You are a used car dealer.
Strictly pre-owned only.
Okay,
pre-owned, not used.
It looks like a new car dealership.
Oh,
though.
very much so.
Yeah, it's a first-class operation. Let me ask you. So, do you narrow the field down as to what kind of pre-owned cars that you sell there at your dealership?
So for us, we know there's a sweet spot. Obviously, I think everybody likes to have really nice, expensive, luxury type cars. But the reality is those don't always sell really well. The bigger the price range, the slower they move off the lot.
Yeah, the smaller the market.
Absolutely. So what we try to do, our average retail price, so if you take our 700 cars in inventory, our average retail price is around $17,000 to $20,000 in that range. Now that means we have cars as inexpensive as $4,000, but we also have those 1 or 2 cars at $90,000, $100,000 sports cars that we like to put on the showroom. One of my brothers made a really good reference. He said, some people hang art on the wall. We'll just put our art on the showroom.
Yeah, I think you have an Aston Martin there at the moment, don't you?
We did. It's been sold.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah. So, it's just our niche is really clean, really low mileage vehicles. And I know a lot of dealers say, we have the best price, we have the cleanest cars, but we truly do. There's including myself, there's 4 brothers. So we're involved in every stage of the process here, from the purchasing to the reconditioning, to the selling, to the pricing, to the appraisals on trade-ins. So we really have our hand or a thumb on the pulse the entire time.
Gary, how do you compete with new car dealers and their certified pre-owned program? I know that you've got to somehow.
So it's real. Number one, what sets us apart from a lot of dealers is the complete transparency that we offer. So if you find a car in our inventory, we will guarantee that you cannot find one similar to it within 300 miles, whether it's a small independent dealer or a big franchise dealer within 300 miles for less money.
Wow.
Just give us a fair comp. You know, you can't compare a black Escalade with a burgundy maroon one, because obviously there's a premium price for those black Escalades. But if you give me a fair, honest, apples to apples comparison, I'll beat them every time on price.
And how obviously you give a free Carfax with every car that you have there as well. We just got through talking to the Carfax people there. So you're not buying wrecked cars or flooded cars or some cars with a major problem, anything like that. But when it comes to warranties, how do you handle warranties?
So service contracts at our dealership, if you buy a car from us, I'm already going to give you a 3-day, 300-mile, it doesn't cost you anything. That's just saying, look, if you buy a car from me, if by chance a check engine light were to pop on, or if the air conditioner, sometimes anything mechanical, you guys know, is always subject to failure. How many times have we come home at the end of the night and a light bulb doesn't turn on when you hit the switch, or the AC has gone out by the time you get home from work? Right. We know that things happen. So we'll do 3 days, 300 miles, free warranty, bumper to bumper. And then anything after that, we also offer service contracts with multiple ranges of coverage.
Gotcha. So you can compete.
Absolutely.
Right. Let me shift gears here and talk to you briefly about the used car market. And I know that there's a lot of factors that, really can affect your business. And we've heard these horrible stories with the coronavirus and people losing their jobs, that sort of thing. But there's also, and I've been talking about this now since the coronavirus hit, the problem with the rental market, and the rental market flooding the used car market because nobody is renting cars, and all of those cars that are in rental car fleets flooding the market. How is that affecting your business, if at all?
Well, I'll tell you. So when the coronavirus hit, in the time of year that it happened, so like a lot of car dealers, we had stocked up in our inventory, had well over 700 vehicles in stock, waiting for the income tax season. That's kind of our retail Christmas.
Yeah,
right?
The spring selling season.
Yep.
You got it. So what happened was, when the coronavirus hit, it was taking us 6 days to sell what we would normally sell in one, right?
Oh, wow.
So that, especially with the amount of overhead we have here, that puts it chokes you pretty heavily.
Yes.
So luckily, we had a lot of inventory, and we still had the ability to purchase inventory when the coronavirus hit. So we were continuing to add because the prices became really, really low at all the new car dealership, the auction houses. So the prices became very, very low. So we were still acquiring inventory when everybody else kind of went into a buying freeze. Okay.
Yep.
So what that enabled to do is allow better pricing on our inventory to pass on better pricing to our consumers.
Yeah, because that significantly helped you, because when other people aren't out there buying, supply and demand, there's no demand, the price falls. So it gives you an opportunity to buy cars at a much better price than what would have been had everybody been at the auction.
Oh, absolutely. I bet we bought 100 to 120 cars during that time frame at prices that you could never purchase them for ever, before or after, right? So What had happened, we were able to continue to add to our inventory during the coronavirus. And then, guys, I'm not kidding you, it was like a switch flip. I think a lot of people were just tired of staying at home. It's almost kind of like a lot of people, you didn't feel sick. A lot of people, the skies outside were sunny, right? And they were just tired of being cooped up. I think a lot of people needed to make some type of emotional purchase to make them feel better. And what ended up happening, we ended up having our best month last month, the month of May.
Yes.
We sold 351 retail vehicles.
Good for you, man.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Yeah, just phenomenal.
Well,
And
that's. I think that speaks volumes about who you guys are, the facility that you've got, and the quality of vehicles that you have on the lot down there. Matter of fact, we'll read a story in our auto news segment that a lot of dealers started feeling that things were coming back in May, and here we are in June, and it looks as though that things are not near as dire as they were back in April.
I completely agree. And I think a lot of people, if you ask 5 different guys, you're going to get 5 different opinions on what the future of the used car market's going to be like. We are always an optimist because there's 4 of us. We seem to be able to kind of have or expand our vision on what the future is going to be like. And we are risk takers. We will buy when a lot of people won't. We'll make decisions that aren't always a favorable decision, but it's because it's in the best interest of the business or the consumer. For example, we have on any given day during the week, there's 4 brothers. You will never come to our dealership and not have one of us here on site. What sets us apart from a lot of the other stores is if you want to talk to the owner, they build layers in between where you can't get to it.
Oh, yeah.
At our dealership, if you want to speak to an owner, you just let one of the guys know if you don't see us on the sales floor because we're always involved daily. But you can talk to us at any given moment just by asking for it.
So, Gary, I have to ask you this question before we let you go, and that is that when you get on the drag strip, do you ever see your brother over in the next lane and have to compete at the same level as him?
That's a very good question. And many times at the NHRA national event level and the divisional level, we have actually raced each other, not just during the eliminations, but actually in the final round.
Yeah.
My brother Harvey and I had actually raced for the very first time in the final round of the 1988 Cajun National. So that goes back a long way.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So, and it was at the time, and he still holds this record today, to be the youngest national event winner in NHRA competition. That's my brother Harvey. And then I think he won it at the age of 16. And in that year, in 1988, I was 15. So I didn't even have a legal driver's license. I just had a permit. And I actually faced off with him in the final. He beat me. He got the best of me. But had I beat him, I would have overcame and been the youngest person ever to win an NHRA national event.
Do you do
So what we've got is he has the title of being the NHRA's youngest national event winner, and I have the title of being the youngest NHRA national event finalist.
How cool is that? And I'm assuming you guys have a pretty nice online presence for your store and your inventory. What's the website address for that?
Do. Yes, it's EmmonsAutoPlex.com. You can view all of our inventory, apply for financing. You can evaluate your trade. We have a lot of really great options. If you want to do a trade appraisal, we do a true car cash offer. We do the KBB instant cash offer. And then we'll also do an appraisal ourselves. So if you bring your car to sell it to us outright or do it just a trade, we will actually give you 3 appraisals at once and let you pick the higher one.
Of course I'd pick the higher one. Who'd ever pick something besides the higher one, right?
Well, it just saves the consumer so much more time in its transparency. Look, you don't have to go to the KBB. We've done it here for you. You don't have to do TrueCar. We've done it here for you, and this is what we'll give.
Well, and that's what I've always tried to teach my kids, whether it's contractors or anything like that, get 3 bids because that way you've got some sort of range there that you can feel a little more comfortable about. So I think that's great.
Gary, thanks so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it, and we're going to be down there knocking on your door more than you'll ever want us to be.
Well, guys, anytime I can help or participate, I'd love to. And, hey, we have a race in 2 weeks at Baytown. It's the NHRA divisional race. You can see Dale. You can see Stan. You can see us. We can all have a great time.
We're coming down there to bug you, if nothing else.
Who's going to win, right?
Gary, thanks again. Emmons AutoPlex down there at the Gulf Freeway at FM 528. Thanks so much for joining us. It's the In Wheel Time program, and we'll be right back after a quick break.
911, what's your emergency?
God, there's a train that just hit a car.
Sir, what is your location? Look around for a street sign, sir.
It's 8th and Orchard. 8th and Orchard.
Okay, very good. 8th and Orchard. Sir, help is on the way.
Why would he do that? The train still doesn't stop. You have to get there now.
At a railway crossing, even if the engineer sees you and hits the brakes, it can take a mile for the train to stop. And for you, that's too late. Stop. Trains can't. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hey, welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Show, and we thank you for riding with us today. Back at our new hours, kind of our old hours, but our new hours.
Saturday morning with In Wheel Time again.
Yeah. We got moved to the afternoon when we were with that radio station, and we're not there anymore. Yeah. So we appreciate everything that they did for us, but we're moving on as they are, I am sure, but we're moving in our own direction today. We're going to be kind of the wild children, those that you couldn't corral.
Again.
Shall we do the Ram tracks, Mr. Mars?
I thought I would just kind of tap into and remind everybody what the Ram Nation Volunteer Corps really is. They've been to Texas now 3 times that I know of to help people out. But what this does, they kind of tap into the instinct of truck owners in general to help people with their trucks and do things to when people are in need. And this is really a grassroots volunteer corps of Ram owners that are willing to go out and help people whenever there's a need. Now, this was really started back in 2015. And since that time, they've been a lot of places, done a lot of things. They've set up a foundation, offered a lot of money. But if you're interested in helping people and you want to use your truck and be with like-minded truck people, you
Who doesn't want to be with truck people?
Exactly, particularly Ram Nation. I mean, there's a couple of clubs out there on the internet that are across the nation, but go to ramtrucks.com/Ram Nation. I mean, there's dealers, there's individuals, and they kind of bring everybody together for these projects, and they work with the First Response Team of America to help find these disasters and decide which ones they can help with. And like I say, I know of 3 times they've been to Texas during floods and fires.
All right. Thank you, sir. Let's look inside the mystery garage. If you're wondering what this door is, we'll have to give them the other shot there, Jeff, so they can see. Well, it wasn't that shot, but it's the door over here to my left. This thing back here, it's the mystery garage. We didn't know really what to do back there, but we thought that we would bring in a different view every week of what's inside the mystery garage. So inside the mystery garage this week is, I thought, a very cool garage. It's a 2-car garage, and you'll notice that there's the Corvette on the right-hand side over there next to the 57 Chevrolet. And up on the wall ahead of the 57 Chevrolet are the actual stock wheels that came with the Corvette. Can we bring that full screen?
Can't get full screen.
Okay,
that's
that's
about as far
good.
as we can go.
That's good enough. But I think that you get the idea up there on the top of the wall. Got a couple of gas pumps over there on the left. I loved the floor. Now, this is one of those buy-it floors, and you kind of click it together. It's not as hard as actually putting down black and white checkered tile. This is a little bit more expensive.
Kind of locks together. It's kind of like the flooring we use at the Autorama.
Yes.
It kind of locks all together.
Yes.
Yeah, except this is black and white. This looks like a checkered flag, not like you took it from a Montessori school.
And let's not throw out what we actually see up there next to the tires, just to the right of the tires up on the wall. You'll notice that it's a heater. So this garage is clearly up north because they needed that heater up there. You wouldn't put an air conditioning up there.
And who hangs C4 Corvette, a full set of C4 Corvette wheels on the wall up above the door?
Somebody that needs a set of winter tires. That's what.
Yeah, winter tires on a Corvette. That
But
makes
this
sense.
is a working garage because he's got a lift there for the 57,
Mm-hmm.
as you can see it, just to get it off the floor so you can get underneath it without, scraping your nose. And then it's a working garage, meaning that the toolbox is over there in front of the Corvette. I thought it was a very nice, very clean look. This is
I'm jealous.
A picture that I took from actually that flooring company. And you can go on. There's a bunch of flooring companies that do this sort of click-in kind of stuff. And, boy, if you got the dough, that's the way to go.
And I can't remember what that color of the Corvette or of the 57 was, but that was actually a factory color, that pale purple color. Was it?
Almost a lavender.
Yeah, lavender.
Something.
Oh, the license plate says
I can't read that.
C57 210. So I guess it's you can see it's a 210. It's a post car.
A post car.
Which means it
door
had the
post.
post between. It wasn't a hard top.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I get it.
Anyhow.
Thank you.
Well,
It's kind of a precursor to the bubble top.
The bubble top, I like that. Well, I like the hard top look without that post. You know, they made back in 56, 57, they made a lot of station wagons that were a hard top station wagon. Looked pretty cool as well.
Yeah, they had a 4-door too.
It was a 4-door that was a hard top.
Yeah, that was pretty cool looking.
We can do the racing and car calendars now if you'd like to do that. Oh, is it on this sheet of paper?
No, it's not on that sheet of paper, but I need that sheet back. Thank you. I have to get my sheets together.
You know, it's really bad when you don't have your sheet together.
So, racing calendar again. We heard that there's a division race out at Baytown next weekend, 2 weeks from now, from the Emmons brothers. They're going to be out there. I imagine Dale will be out there.
That's what he said.
I know.
Were you not paying attention?
Yes, I was, but this is the racing calendar. I wanted to mention it again. And then the national event for NHRA.
No, I know. I was talking about that Stan and Dale, along with the Emmons brothers, will be out there, not the date.
Oh, yes, they will. Question is, will we?
You know, this happens when you get old, and the dyslexia really comes forward.
What? And then the national event has been moved to October, and it's actually going to be the week after the Dallas event. So NHRA is going to double up on Texas.
What are we going to do? I mean, how do you do that? Well, honey, yeah, I'm going to spend the entire weekend down at the racetrack Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Oh, by the way, I'm going to do the same thing the following week, too. So those projects that we had no, we ain't going to do any of that.
Why don't you come to the track
from a
with me?
team, a pro team perspective, I mean, they're going to hit Dallas.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And then they're just
I'm
going to
not
roll on
talking
down
about
here.
the team. I'm talking about us personally, people that go and watch the races and be involved. You can't have two major national events in 250 miles of each other that you're not going to attend both of them.
Oh,
and then, well, back to the racing calendar, and then Texas Short Track is starting back up in June 20th.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So that's so that's not far away. So plan on that at Houston Motorsports Park is get out there and watch that. That'll be a lot of fun. And NASCAR this weekend is at Atlanta. NHRA's first event is going to be on July 11th and 12th at Indianapolis, and we were talking about that before. That on the NHRA circuit, they own the Indy track, so they're going to kind of open their season up at Indy. Events here in town, Nifty 50s is going to be tonight. Autos is still on hold. Freddy's Steakburger is Sunday night out at Eldridge in 1960. Last weekend, Don and Jeff and I went on the forest cruise. Actually had a blast. That was a lot of fun. And
Until we got lost.
Well,
How do you get lost following a bunch of people?
Well, it was like 120 cars that were on this cruise, and when we came into a town that had one stoplight or one stop sign, we absolutely made a traffic nightmare in that town, and people were getting out to take pictures of us as we were going by. It was a lot of fun, but you kind of got distracted when you created that traffic jam. And then next weekend is HPD Houston Performance Driving Twin Peaks meet, and that's Troy Boy's 43rd birthday bash.
Is he buying?
Yes, Troy is always buying. And then on
no, he's not.
And then tomorrow on June 7th, the SCCA Autocross event down at Gulf Greyhound Park. And that'll be a lot of fun as well.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Just ahead, this week's Auto News. We are all things automotive here on the In Wheel Time Car Show.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
A social distancing tip.
While the CDC urges you to avoid close contact, like hugging or shaking hands, there are other non-physical ways to say hello. Wave, wink, use sign language, salute, smile, give the peace sign, throw up an air high five, do jazz hands. Remember, stay a minimum of 6 feet or 2 arms length away from others, and stay home if you can. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #AloneTogether. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Welcome back. It's In Wheel Time. at our new time, 10 to noon, Saturdays on Facebook, on YouTube, and InWheelTime.com.
Stitcher. What else?
No,
Mike?
no, that's podcast.
Oh, that's okay. Podcast.
Yes, so we need to keep all that straight. We got podcasts over here. We got live broadcast over here.
Join us for both. If you miss something in the live broadcast, you can always play the podcast while you're driving around in the car.
Yeah. Do you do that?
Yeah, I listen to podcasts in
Do
the
you?
car.
Do you
Not
listen?
often enough. I tend
Do you
to
listen to our podcast?
Yes, I do. I listen.
Don't lie.
I listen for my mistakes.
Is that what you listen for?
Yeah, that's why I listen all the time.
All right. Time. Time now for the news, making auto news headlines. Nissan recalling more than 1.8 million sedans because the secondary hood latch may get stuck in the open position.
And some of these they're recalling for the second time.
A majority of the recalled vehicles in North America are in the U.S. and Canada. The recall covers Nissan Altima sedans from 2013 to 2018. Go to safercar.gov, type in your VIN, you'll find whether your Altima is one of those.
And you could probably get your car app and Carfax as well, and that'll check you for VIN.
U.S. auto sales will fall about 20% this year and not recover from the coronavirus pandemic for more than half a decade. That's according to Alex Partners. In its Global Automotive Outlook released Thursday, the consulting firm projected that U.S. sales will fall to 13.6 million this year from 17.1 million last year and not return to 17 million until 2026.
I think that's a little gloomy. I think it'll recover faster than that, but who knows?
Well, we can all hope.
Yep.
But car companies are sending all of their workers back and actually working triple shifts at the truck factories.
Trying to get caught up.
Yeah, because inventory apparently is low at car dealerships.
Well, all of those incentives they were running in April and May drained the inventory at the dealerships, so now they got to really ramp up production.
Yeah. As automakers battle back from the health crisis, I should say, that has ripped the economy. Fleet sales to car rental companies won't be there to accelerate the recovery. Struggles in the rental market during the pandemic highlighted by the bankruptcy filings of Hertz and parent of Advantage Rent-A-Car have cut off a key volume destination for automakers to help smooth out dips in retail demand. Rental companies normally account for 8 to 10% of U.S. new vehicle sales each year. I didn't know it was that high.
And a lot of that tends to be early production build as well.
Yeah, so that's an ugly
Do you know
thing.
the Mercedes Sprinter is 25 years old? That Sprinter van has been in production for 25 years. I didn't realize it had been out for that long.
Huh. I didn't either. How did that come up in your brain?
Well, it's news. It was just automotive news.
Oh, I see. It was a different subject. It had nothing.
Had nothing to do with that. I just
Squirrel.
Where? Dog.
Shiny thing.
It's the Suze. There she is looking at me like she wants to go out, so we're going to let her out after we take a little break. But we're going to do that, as a matter of fact. Back with hour number 2 of our show after a quick break. This is In Wheel Time, and we are all things automotive.